Coming up on the Merge Out Loud, Sherwood hangs out in the Merge Studios with Tower. Stay tuned.
Hey, welcome to Merge Out Loud. My name is Tower with Mikey. Thanks for being on the show, and Joe. And you're from either the band Sherwood or Sherwood. And there's a little controversy over that?
How you pronounce it depends on where you're from. When we first named the band this, I had only heard the word Sherwood, with an English accent, as in the Disney Robin Hood movie, and so I always thought it was Sherwood. But then people in America started saying Sherwood. I'm like, no, that's not right. But then the rest of the band kept saying Sherwood, and it is now that.
But there's a new Robin Hood movie coming out this summer, so do you think you could actually switch back to Sherwood just because, common usage?
I think in honor of the new Robin Hood movie, we could temporarily change it.
When we tour in England, we just refer to ourselves as Sherwood.
Sherwood.
It's sort of hard to change people's pronunciations over there. So
okay.
We kind of actually just go with both, kind of whenever the time is fitting.
It's good to know you're flexible, right?
Yeah.
The album is called Q. We're going to get to a video in just a couple minutes here. I want to talk about how you guys came together. You're from California. There's a ton of harmony going on the record. So I'd say there's obviously some Beach Boys influence there. Or where did you kind of figure out, we got 5 guys in the band and all 5 of us can sing, so why not put that together?
Our guitar player Dan, who kind of is the starter of all the songs and does a lot of the arrangement, his favorite band growing up was the Beach Boys. And so that's just inevitably a part of every song that he writes. And so he's got a great ear for vocal arrangements and harmonies, and it's something we all love, and I think just makes people feel good. And it's part of our sound. And
did you all know you could sing, or did you have to kind of learn?
Well, we're actually the 2 people who don't sing. The 3 out of the 5 are the predominant singers.
We did some gang vocals on the album.
Yeah, I mean Right, but we're sort of not the official backup singers of the group. I mean, there's Nate, who's our lead singer, and David and Dan, who both do backups, and the 3 of them together can just hit harmonies.
And we're going to go ahead and get to a video here in just a couple of minutes. You guys seem to have some kind of obsession with balloons. We're going to see balloons in 2 and 3 videos here. In this video, you're actually kind of flying, maybe kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
More him than me.
Yeah. We're defying gravity, as we like to put it.
And you want to go ahead and tell me just where the song actually came from, apart from the video?
You Are it's not a terribly specific song. It kind of has these universal, slightly vague platitudes in it. It is roughly based on one of our band members' former girlfriend. And just kind of the things going on in her life. But we wanted to keep it a little bit vague so it could be more universal.
And so it can apply to the people listening, right?
But the song is about somebody who is kind of their own worst enemy in terms of negativity and pessimism and etc.
And by the way, we really hope the ex-girlfriend isn't watching right now that we put all that together. When you guys go to put a video like this together, it kind of looks like a testing of a laboratory. That's kind of what you're going for, right?
Well, that was actually the vision of the director. We hired a guy named Matt Wignall to do the directing. We actually had the idea. I mean, we thought that it would be just a really cool idea to do a music video with using balloons where we were able to float. We didn't know how to actually make that happen for ourselves, and so we kind of went with a director who has a really specific artistic eye, and so, I mean, a lot of his concept for why are you floating? Why are we filming you? And trying to tie it all together from beginning to end is really his talent as a director. I mean, we were just so pleased when the whole thing was finished.
Let's check it out. Sherwood, the video is You Are on the Merge Out Loud. Sherwood, the video is You Are on the Merge Out Loud. Coming up, we talk about how the band's rise to popularity wouldn't have been possible 20 years ago. This is the Merge Out Loud. This is the Merge Out Loud. My name is Tower. We're the guys from Sherwood. It's really interesting that your band's really rise to popularity and finding fans is really closely tied with social networking and how that's just become a phenomenon in the United States and worldwide. And well, it starts with you're actually signed to MySpace Records, right?
Yeah, we are signed to MySpace Records, which is the second label that we've been on. And we had a decision to make a few years ago. We could have signed with MySpace Records or another label, and ultimately we decided that the really unique ability to access people through MySpace and through social networking was a pretty new thing at the time, and it seemed like such an amazing opportunity, and it has been an amazing opportunity. And so we decided to take a chance and try that new system of doing things, and it's worked out really well for us.
Where do you think you guys might have gone otherwise? Because you know your videos have gotten over 1 million hits each online, and you're really grabbing people one at a time as opposed to trying to get just on TV and distribute it that way. Like, how important has it been in finding fans for this kind of music to you guys? Like, what would have happened if it wouldn't have been there?
I think that if we had signed to a different, more traditional record label, that people would have heard about us in different ways. MySpace has its unique methods that it gets information and entertainment out to people. So you know, lots of plays online, lots of people hearing about us that way. But MySpace, as a record label, doesn't have a little cult following like some other labels do, like a label like Victory or Tooth and Nail or
Sub Pop,
anything like that, who have a built-in fan base and thousands of people who will just buy no matter what they put out. And so if we hadn't signed with MySpace, we could have taken advantage of a situation like that, but we took advantage of MySpace, and it's worked out really well.
And it's pretty cool that the old rules are kind of out the window right now, where you used to only be able to be in one band and your record label controlled everything. You guys actually helped launch another band called We Shot the Moon, right? You want to tell me about that?
Yeah. So there was a band called Waking Ashland that we were friends with and we toured with several times, and they decided to break up, and the singer, Jonathan, wanted to start a new band and asked myself and our guitar player, Dan, to help him write and arrange the album. So we co-wrote the songs and recorded it, but then, you know, Sherwood was getting busy, so he hired his own musicians, and he then, you know, they've become part of his band, and they wrote a second album and did all that. But Dan and I were helpful in starting that band, their first album.
By the way, We Shot the Moon, great band, check them out. And also the idea of just giving music away online, which we've seen a lot more recently. You guys did back in 2006, which helped get the band off the ground. You gave away your first EP, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, we realized that we were at a point where we hadn't yet signed to MySpace. So that was actually what really kind of propelled our signing to them as a record label. We knew that, you know, the power of the internet is so great that we can get the word out, get our music out, and sort of let the songs maybe speak for themselves. And it did really help us. I mean, our sort of goal was to like not only get exposure, but also to potentially, you know, sign a record deal, and that was successful for us.
We're going to go to the video. I want to talk about the other free EP real quick that you gave away. It's called I Beat People Up?
I'll Beat You Up.
I'll Beat You Up.
Yeah.
And it's actually remakes of children's songs they did just for fun, so you can check that out on MySpace. Sherwood, it's called Song in My Head. This video has had over 1 million hits on MySpace alone, truly become an internet phenomenon. Check it out. It's on the Merge Out Loud. It's the Merge Out Loud. I'm Tower with Sherwood. Coming up, we talk more about faith and music on the Merge Out Loud. This is the Merge Out Loud. I'm Tower with the guys from Sherwood. It's pretty interesting that you've played most of your time and most of your shows in the mainstream music world. I actually found out about you guys because of a website called JesusFreakHideout.com that does Christian reviews. Let's talk about faith and music here for just a bit, because you spent most of your time on the road, and you do basically live on the road for the last 6 years, right? Touring with bands like Hanson, Reliant K, May. There's also a faith element to what you do. You want to tell me just about how that comes in the music and where that is with you guys personally?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're all believers in Jesus Christ. We all, well, not all of us, but most of us grew up believers and kind of grew up in that Christian music industry world where bands were very much classified as Christian bands or not Christian bands. And at the point that we met in college, we just wanted to really sort of take that element seriously and not just sort of sign up to be doing something. I guess it's been a learning process for us. So our music is absolutely influenced by our worldview and by our personal lives, but our brand name is not something that we are particularly associating with as strictly Christian or non-Christian.
Yeah, which is cool because we've got enough bands that are playing in churches, and some of them are really, really good, and we're glad to have them. We also need bands playing in clubs and playing in House of Blues. When you guys are touring, what kind of questions come up? Do the other bands kind of realize there's something different that's driving your music and driving your worldview?
We occasionally get into conversations with other bands. Sometimes on tour, you're with a band for such a short amount of time that you hardly even get to know each other, especially because all the traveling involved and all the work involved with tour, there's not a lot of hangout time. But sometimes you do click with certain people and you get in conversations that, people open up to each other and get to share what's, on their heart. Those are rare instances, though.
I think it's safe to say the responsibility is there, and whether we always step up to the challenge is probably just a different question. That we would all agree that there's a sort of greater responsibility for our personal lives to share the gospel with people that we meet and get the opportunity to talk to. Whether we actually get that opportunity often is
Depends on the tour and the day and where you're at.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, in addition to faith, there's a real constant theme that I hear running through your new album, Q, which, by the way, I really am a big fan of. I was like forcing other people to listen to it when it first came out. But there's really this kind of storyline of like blue-collar people that are working and tired and concerned about losing their house because they can't pay the mortgage, which is pretty much the storyline of the United States right now. Like, where did those songs and that influence come from?
I think you're talking about one song in particular that's kind of summing up that theme, which is a song called Hit the Bottom. And we wrote that pretty late in the process, and we did have, current events in mind when we were thinking about lyrics. I think in general, on this album, we were influenced more than on previous albums by some Bruce Springsteen, who's just, like the iconic blue-collar guy, and other artists like that, like Tom Petty. And so that definitely is one reason why there's that element on Q as opposed to previous albums.
We're going to go ahead and go to another video from Q, and it starts out saying that it's a Lithuanian film.
That's another little quirk that the director threw in. It's the same director from the You Are video, and he likes to throw in these little, unexpected quirks like that.
Yeah, watch for the guy stealing the bicycle. We're with the guys from Sherwood on the Merge Out Loud right now. The video is called Maybe This Time. The video is Maybe This Time on the Merge Out Loud. Coming up, we talk with the guys from Sherwood about touring overseas, as well as what's next for the band. The Merge Out Loud. This is the Merge Out Loud. We're with the guys from Sherwood. You shoot a lot of your own videos. You did one in the actual Sherwood Forest in England?
Yeah, we went to England and we visited the Sherwood Forest, after which we are named. And it was a little bit disappointing as far as forests go. I'm from Northern California, and we have real big, giant redwood trees, and they stretch for miles, and it's very rocky terrain. And the Sherwood Forest was like flat with a few birch trees.
Yeah, so it's like a Midwestern park where you go to throw your Frisbee to a dog,
Exactly,
right?
yeah. It was a fun, picnic atmosphere.
Yeah, and I think we've got the video. You actually had a really interesting bus driver over there, for sure.
This guy named Craig was our bus driver, and he was a very colorful character who had a great, just thick British accent.
He fit the British stereotype well.
He laid it on a little thick for that video, but he nailed it.
You guys have also got a pretty good fan base in Japan, which is pretty interesting because they're actually, I would say, more trendy than the United States is. Like, they're coming up with like fashion and that type of thing first before it hits over here. So what's it like to just go over there and have people that are singing along not in their primary language, and a culture that's maybe ahead of ours at this point?
So much fun. I mean, it was such a culture shock in every way possible, and we were lucky when we did go that there were 4 people, like Japanese employees from the record label, like a translator, a driver, somebody, a roadie to kind of show us around and help us set up our equipment. And our experiences were just all completely, non-traditionally American in every way, and it was just so much fun. I mean, the one memory from the shows specifically that we have taken away is that the culture is very, very polite. And so, here in America, in between songs, as a band, like, we expect the crowd to be rowdy and noisy and
Talk
sort
to
of,
us.
yeah, and over there, it's like, as soon as you're done, I mean, people are like,
They
they
clap,
clap.
and then
It's like a
yeah,
golf
and
tournament
it's
on
like-
TV.
It
Yeah.
is very much like a
very
golf
much.
tournament, yeah. And
you could hear a pin drop in a room of like 1,500
Yeah.
people.
At what point did you put the robes on? Because we've got the video of the robes.
We stayed in a small hotel there, and like the robes just came with the room.
So you like if you go to Japan, you get those no matter
yeah,
what.
absolutely.
That's a bonus.
It's like a pillow mint.
The album came out, your latest is called Q. It came out in October of 2009. But there's a wedding this summer. Like, you're actually getting married, Mikey,
Yep.
right? So that means there's some downtime. Like, what's that mean to the band?
Well, kind of as it is, like, we can only plan band stuff maybe 2 months out in advance. I mean, tours really don't get booked until sort of each season comes along. And so we're not actually sure if, we'll be doing a summer tour at the moment. I mean, I'll definitely be taking a few weeks off to get married, and
by the
these
way-
guys are all...
Yeah, is it required that if you're in a band with somebody, they have to be in the wedding? Yeah.
It's probably not required with all bands. We happen to
Yeah.
have a really good community and friendship in our
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are my best friends. I just couldn't imagine not having them in my wedding.
And this is the first time this has ever happened, but I understand you brought a gift to give to the show.
Absolutely. We currently have these on tour with us, and we wanted to make sure you guys got one as well.
Very limited edition.
That is Mikey.
Mikey bobbleheads.
In bobblehead format, complete with lip ring. Mikey and Joe, the band is Sherwood. Really appreciate having you guys on. Sherwood's latest album is called Q. It's the Merge Out Loud.